Hello GCSE students, this is the Cardiovascular System Part 2. Now basically you need to know the structure of the cardiovascular system and make sure you know the names and locations of the components and their role in maintaining blood circulation during physical activity. You've got a sort of a diagram here. Now golden rule, looking at the diagram of the heart, remember that it is a cross-section viewed from the front. This is why the right-hand side is actually on the left of the diagram. Imagine your heart to check the sides. So we've got a few very important parts. The tricuspid valve is on the right side of the heart between the right atrium and the right ventricle. The bicuspid valve on the left side of the heart between the left atrium and the left ventricle. The semilunar valves are between the ventricles and the pulmonary artery and vein. Valves keep the blood moving forward by shutting behind blood that has passed through to prevent it from flowing back the way it came. So the valves shut or snap shut, and by doing that, it stops the backflow. So when the heart contracts from the ventricles around the body or to the lungs, the valves will snap shut. And what that will do is the tricuspid valve will snap shut, and that will stop the blood going back into the atrium, which we do not want. A couple of very, very important parts of this heart we need to know. The Vena Cava. The Vena Cava is the main vein bringing deoxygenated blood back to the lungs. Okay, so we see the Vena Cava is here. That's a very, very important, the biggest, most important vein in the body because it's bringing all the deoxygenated blood back to the heart. Now, as we can see here on the diagram, the blue side is the deoxygenated blood. So the Vena Cava is bringing that deoxygenated blood back. It will then pump it through the pulmonary artery. Now, as we will learn later on, but we should know, arteries always carry oxygenated blood. Actually, arteries are arteries because they carry blood away from the heart. Now, normally that is oxygenated blood. However, the pulmonary artery, the only artery in the body carrying deoxygenated blood because it's pumping blood out of the heart. However, it's deoxygenated because it's going back to the lungs to be reoxygenated. Okay, we have the pulmonary vein. Again, the pulmonary vein. Veins normally carry deoxygenated blood back to the heart. However, to be a vein, you must be carrying blood back to the heart. The pulmonary vein is bringing oxygenated blood back from the lungs to the heart. That's why it's red, because it's oxygenated. And then it will pump through the aorta. The aorta is the biggest artery in the body, and it will pump blood everywhere it needs to go. Now, if you look at the heart, generally you will see the left ventricle here is more muscular. Okay, it's stronger. That's because the left ventricle needs to pump blood all around the body. Now, the bigger and stronger this left ventricle is, the better your cardiovascular system will be. Okay, that's why when you get something called bradycardia, your resting heart rate is under 60 beats per minute. That's because you have an extremely strong myocardium, it's called, or heart muscle, okay, which is placed in the left ventricle. Scroll down a little bit. Okay, we have the right atrium receives deoxygenated blood. The left atrium receives oxygenated blood. The right ventricle deoxygenated, and the left ventricle oxygenated blood. And the septum is the bit in the middle here